I secretly sort of enjoy the fact that Bastion is absolutely tearing through every single Overwatch game we're playing nowadays. I know, it might make me an evil person. I guess I like when things get shifted up, and this has been quite a huge shift. The new meta, as we'll call it, is getting a little bit out of hand, and in today's video, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that and focus on what you can do in the current situation and what Blizzard might end up doing in the future, and then also kind of give my thoughts as to what we're looking at. Now remember, this patch just went live. Like, it hasn't even been a frickin' day.
Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down!
We can't go too crazy yet when we're calling things OP and asking for nerfs, but I won't deny the fact that it seems as if Bastion might be a little overtuned. So just as a quick recap, if you weren't paying close attention, Bastion saw a bunch of changes. He's a lot more versatile. He won't just be sitting in sentry form because recon is really good now. Sentry form kind of becomes a tank buster because you have to reload less often and you can switch into it quicker. You know, that increased bullet spread definitely hurt him. But while in sentry form, the fact that he's got that ironclad passive reducing incoming damage by 35%, that's just the game changer there, because he sits in that and he self-repairs through a lot of damage. He could self-repair through Reaper's ult, he could self-repair through most entire magazines of a lot of the different heroes in this game. He even survives Tracer's ultimate. He's much tankier. This is all forgetting the fact that there's probably a healer on his team that's also healing him. So the self-repair with the damage reduction and the fact that he's a lot more versatile, the fact that recon mode is better, he gets self-repair while moving as well. We're just seeing Bastions everywhere. It's like, it's a damn apocalypse. It's an invasion of Bastions. The Omnic crisis is taking place, but he's not impossible to kill. There are things that you can do. Just off the top of my head, some good choices would be something like Discord Orb. That admittedly does become harder if he's being protected by a Reinhardt with his shield. Ana is a really good counter to Bastion. Sleep Dart pulls him right out of sentry form, and her anti-heal grenade makes it so that he can't heal. So if you sleep him and then you anti-heal, that's a really great way to kill him pretty effectively. Sombra is getting a lot better with the prevalence of Bastion because her hack as well as her ultimate pulls Bastion out of sentry mode and makes it so that the only thing he can do is shoot you back. And Genji, still a strong counter to Bastion. He's as strong as ever. Yeah, Bastion's tankier, but that doesn't mean Genji became bad at killing him. And then also we have, of course, Roadhog, which will pull Bastion right out of sentry form. And you notice I'm mentioning a lot of things that get Bastion out of sentry form. That is because he's only super tanky in sentry form. The passive Ironclad only works in sentry and tank configuration when he has his ultimate. So if you could ever remove him from sentry form, it's the same old Bastion pretty much, except that he could self-heal while moving. But nevertheless, I do want to say, I don't hate what's going on right now. Like, I played a bunch of games this morning and I was kind of having fun. It's a change of pace. It's fresh. This happens anytime we get huge balance changes or when a new hero is added to the game. Things are going nuts. First off, Bastion's finally fucking relevant. Look, we've spent months and months of seeing pretty much Reinhardt, Soldier, and Ana, those three, in practically every single game on both teams because they were so strong, considered must picks, whatever you want to call it. And Bastion's been the laughingstock amongst other heroes like Hanzo and Widowmaker. They've been the laughingstock of Overwatch almost since the game launched. So the fact that Bastion is now like considered viable, even if he might be a little overtuned, the fact that people are not complaining when you pick him in your games, hell man, I'm fine with that. I would like to see that. And then also the fact that Bastion is so prevalent right now and we're seeing so many, we're seeing him in so many games, this is pulling a lot of other low pick rate heroes into the game. I've been seeing Widowmakers to counter Bastion because she can shoot him for maximum damage from way out of range of any damage that he's gonna do while in sentry form. Even recon mode, she can be far enough so that that's not really a threat. I'm also seeing Hanzo's for a similar reason. We're seeing a ton of Sombra now because Sombra's hack will pull Bastion right out of sentry, making him not as tanky. And then there's just the fact that the game is in a state of chaos, and it's fun for me, man. People aren't really positive yet what the meta is, what the heroes that are the best are. After dealing with the same handful of heroes being what everyone plays all the time, I'm happy to see things changed up. Now again, that doesn't mean that I don't think that Bastion could use some tweaks. I certainly think he might be a little overtuned, but I also think that it's only been a day. We should give it some time. We should see how people are gonna figure things out. There's also the fringe benefit of this possibly pushing Reinhardt out of that must-pick position, because if Bastions are really being seen all the time, Reinhardt's barrier isn't nearly as effective because he shreds through that. It's just that Bastion was so weak for a variety of other reasons that he wasn't picked very often in the past, but now that he's much more well-rounded, he's a little tankier, we're seeing him more often, and that's gonna make people more reluctant to play Reinhardt. Maybe they'll pick D.Va instead because Defense Matrix is a better way of dealing with it than a Reinhardt barrier. What do I think Blizzard might be doing? Well, besides giving it some time to see how things pan out before we make drastic changes, I think they'll pretty obviously try to deal with the passive Ironclad. His tankiness is the biggest point of contention, so maybe we'll see them reduce it from 35% down to 25% reduction. Or at the very least, they might consider making it so that he can no longer survive Tracer's ultimate, because I do think that's a little silly. Like, if a Tracer gets up behind you and drops her ultimate on you, that should probably deal with a Bastion, right? I don't know, maybe I'm misguided there. And then, let us not forget, we have a 24th hero right around the corner, and maybe he has effective ways of dealing with the new Bastion. Let us not forget that while Blizzard was making these changes to Bastion, the new balance, they also knew what the 24th hero was and knew what his skill set was going to be, and they may have considered that while doing these balance changes. It's just that at the moment, we don't know who the new hero is, we don't know all of the skills at his disposal and what he'll be good at, so we don't know how that will interact with Bastion. And as I said, there are still ways to deal with him. He might be a little overtuned, and Blizzard might make some changes, but we gotta give it some time, and we still have to see who the 24th hero is. Alright everybody, that is gonna do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.